Welcome to another podcast of Holmes on Holmes podcast. I'm here with Will from ESA, and I don't know how many times I have to keep talking about electrical, and I want to do it in a way to help you, the homeowner, understand. I've been doing this for over 40 years, and I know it starts to tell my age. I can count on one hand, out of all the thousands of houses I've been to that didn't have electrical problems. Less than 5 houses. That's actually really bad. On the show, there isn't one house that didn't have electrical problems. This is a concern. This is why we have ESA, correct?
Absolutely.
What's your job?
I'm General Manager for Operations Planning and Support with ESA, but I've been an inspector and I've been on boots on the ground as an electrician.
Okay, and your job is to go in and make sure that all electrical in your home is done correctly. Why?
Because you want your home and your family to be safe, and you want to have a great house that you can live in for a long time and sleep well at night.
That is the key. We got to talk about insurance. There's reasons for insurance. There's reasons for fire. There's reasons for unfortunate, possible, even death. Electrical needs to be done right. Structure needs to be done right. Plumbing needs to be done right, or you're going to have a problem. When it comes to electrical, do you need a permit?
Absolutely.
If you change a switch or a receptacle, do you need a permit?
You should get a permit for that.
You should get a permit, because even as a homeowner who's allowed to change a receptacle and a switch, you're allowed to, you should get a permit so it's inspected and made sure it was done correctly, so no one's going to get a shock, there's not going to be a fire. These are minor things. But when it comes to running electrical to your whole home, I'll give you an example. The first show of this year, we came in the house. As soon as I walked in the doors, I knew there was problems with electrical, never mind structure, plumbing. I knew right away. We started opening it up. And what did I find? I find they ran the pot lights in the living room, then came in with steel beams to do the structure, pushed the steel beams up into place and squished the wires up against the floor sheathing, against the floor joists. What can this cause?
Could cause arcing, could cause heat, could cause all kinds of problems.
Like a fire.
Fire.
Electrical hazard, period. This was done with someone who didn't really know how to do electrical, but was trying to do the job properly. $500,000 later, we come in, we take the place apart, and we redo the whole house of electrical, structural, plumbing, you name it, HVAC. When I walked into the bathroom upstairs and I said, pull this wall, people wonder why I say take it all down. I opened up the wall behind the toilet and there was a wire hanging down to the floor that was live. The floor was actually ran to the direction of where that electrical wire was, and I told the homeowners, had you have had a shower, not only would you have flooded the kitchen right away, but if it had pooled up to touching that electrical line and you were standing in the water, what would happen?
Could be very, very bad for your health.
Could be fatal.
Very
Could be
bad.
fatal, because now you're the ground. Second show of this year, we find that there's not only a million junction points in the basement, structural issues, there was no ground to the house at all, so nothing was grounded. What can happen?
With ungrounded wiring, you have less of a safety system in your house. That's all part of the safety system that helps your overcurrent protection clear and keeps your family safe.
When I was a kid, I remember, my dad, because he was a jack of all trades, master of none. He was great, though. He cared. I walked into a house one time and I touched the stove and I got a shock. And I was like, why did I get a shock off the stove? It wasn't grounded. That's what can happen to you. Doesn't mean it's going to kill you or can be fatal, but no matter what, it means if you have kids in the house, it's an unsafe home. What should we do when it comes to anything to do with electrical?
Call a licensed electrical contractor, make sure they have a notification of work, and go to our ESA website to verify that they're a licensed electrical contractor.
So there's your ticket right there. If you go to ESA's website and you don't see their license number on it, it means they're not a licensed electrical contractor and should not be working in your home. That is the safest way possible. Here's something that I loved when it came into force, I don't know, around 20 years ago in the neighborhood, and you can correct me if you'd like. When it came to electrical in your home, you, the homeowner, are responsible for your house. You can be fined by ESA. The contractor who does the work, who does it incorrectly, can be fined by the ESA. As far as I'm concerned, I would like to see structural fines, plumbing fines, heating fines. There isn't gas. There isn't gas. For electrical purposes, making sure you have peace of mind for you and your family is getting a permit, having ESA come in and confirm that it was done properly. It's just safe for you, it's safe for the kids, and it's for a good reason. I doubt very much you want to fine people.
No, we don't want to go out and hit people with big fines, hit them with big fees, and ultimately we want the job done right from the start.
And that's for you. So today in the world, what are we seeing? I mean, I remember when the biggest current or amperage draw in your home was the stove, a 40 amp breaker. Then we started introducing hot tubs up to a 50, 60 amp breaker, right? Now we have electric cars. And what do we have up to when it comes amperage?
Could be 90, 100 amp breaker for that electric car.
Right. Now that is the most amount of power. I want you to think about this. It's a very low percentage of people out there that are getting a permit for their electric car. That's against the rules. It's against the laws here when it comes to electrical work in your home. Why this is so important is that is so much power. You hear the hum behind me? That hum is electricity. What the hum you're hearing is the transformer behind us. And that is actually picking up the power, giving more power to the building because the building needs a lot of electricity. Transforms power. When you hear that hum, that's a lot of power. You're not going to hear an 80 amp breaker to a 100 amp breaker humming, but that much power can do an awful lot of damage to your home and your family. It can burn the house down. You can be, if you ever touch that amount of power, you're not, we've all touched electricals, we've all had those little shocks, so ooh, don't do that again. But you don't want to be touching anything that is that high. You have an electric car? Hire a licensed electrical contractor, confirm they work or their numbers on the ESA website. Then you know you're dealing with someone that's done everything right. They have all their tickets, they have all of their WSIB, the insurance, they have everything necessary to come into your home, correct?
That's right, Mike. We always say there's no such thing as a safe shock, right? Every shock is a dangerous shock. So you want to avoid them at all costs.
That's well said. That's making it right. In all my experience, the Electrical Safety Authority does not want to fine the homeowner. They're trying not to make you be afraid that, you're going to get a ticket like speeding in your car. It's the point of safety. It's just a rule. So, don't play or break that rule. It's really important that you get your permit. You have the ESA come in and check it out. It is for your safety. You don't want the house to burn down. You don't want anyone to be possibly electrocuted in your home or even shocked for that matter. I remember my son, he was 5 years old, and he kept playing with the receptacle. And my wife at the time said to me, Mike, he's going to get electrocuted. And I said, oh, no, it's okay. Let him play with it. Let him play with it. You're going to get a shock, Mike. You're going to get a shock. A lot of people are going to say, did you really do that, Mike? And yes, I did. I know electricity. He's not strong enough to grab it and squeeze it and get the full power. He's going to get a small shock. And he got a small shock. I don't think he'll ever touch it again.
No, probably not.
No, he's 33 now. He's about this big. He's a really big boy. What a way to teach someone, right? But that's how we learn. We seem to learn by mistake rather than education. All we're trying to do here is what?
Keep people safe, keep them educated. Yeah, keep them out of harm's way. We now have tamper-resistant receptacles, so you can't stick anything in the outlet.
I know.
And those are the important things when you're looking at your home is there safety features I can put in here that would make it safer, not just the minimum.
So to homeowners out there, the tamper-proof receptacle is the one that you're trying to stick the plug in and it doesn't seem like it wants to go in. You got to give it a little bit of force to go in. That's just for the kids, so they can't, like my son, touch it and get a little shock off it. Electrical has come a long way, like anything else in our home. Certification to be an electrician, which used to be called an electrician, now it's a licensed electrical contractor. Explain the difference to me.
So an electrician is someone who is licensed to do electrical work. A licensed electrical contractor is someone who owns a business, knows all the business rules, has all the insurance and all the certifications to do that work on your behalf.
And correct me if I'm wrong, only a licensed electrical contractor can get the permit and or you, the homeowner.
That's right, only a licensed electrical contractor can take out a permit or notification with ESA or the homeowner who's doing the work themselves.
Because you want to help the homeowner do it right. That's the whole thing. So yes, you're going to allow them to get the permit and try and educate them along the way. You did this good, you did this good, we want this fixed.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. As a homeowner, you can do your own electrical work, but really know when to pull in a licensed electrical contractor to help out for small jobs around the house, changing a couple of receptacles, doing some minor work. You might be able to handle that on your own, but often when you're in doubt, call a licensed electrical contractor. They're the experts. They do this every day.
In my home, I have my garage, which is off the grid. It's got 10,000 watts of backup batteries. On my house, I have solar panels that feed the grid, so I get money back. Now, I really like this industry, I really do, because we're trying to be more eco-friendly for the world.
Yeah.
So what's great about being off the grid for my garage is that I can charge my electric motorcycle, believe it or not, and there's no charge, but I can charge it off my batteries. The solar charges the batteries. I think we've come a long way since then, and now, from I got a wall of batteries to a big box of batteries, about this big, that's what, 10,000 watts of power. Now we're getting big into the electric cars. The new truck come out. I saw the truck.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can take that truck and use it as a generator in your home to power the fridge when the power goes out.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening here that can benefit us and at the same time harm us.
Right.
If we do not install the EV chargers properly, this can really be a problem to your home. It can burn it down, someone can be electrocuted. That's a big no-no. And we're seeing this way too much right now, aren't we?
That's right, Mike. So there's a lot of EV chargers hitting the market right now. We're trying to electrify our vehicles, and people are asking those questions. Can I use this to power my house in the event of a power outage? And the key is to make sure you get a licensed electrical contractor to do that work, and they take out a notification with ESA to make sure the work is done safely and properly the first time.
This is something you don't want to make a mistake in. This is something you want to do right the first time. Till next time. Thank you. This episode is brought to you by Improve Canada, Canada's largest home improvement center. Check out improvecanada.com. If you like the show, check out the episode page on makeitright.ca for more tips.